So today's topic is spring cleanup of fat. We are in the spring season, and we do yearly cleanup sessions, right, for our house. We make sure that all the garbage or unnecessary things are gone. It's the same as with our fat. Of course, in our work, sorry, in your home, we have lots of useful things, and we buy them and we keep them. But over the period, they become useless. Similar thing with our fat. Our body collects it and keeps it for good reasons, but there is a time when part of it becomes garbage or unnecessary. It clogs up the way it makes our house messy, the way it reduces the space that we have, and just a clutter, and then doesn't look, and all sort of stuff, right? Same thing with our body. So all these unnecessary fat that we have, how do we get rid of it? And of course, there are lots of this is a big industry, right? Not just lots of thought. Everybody is wants to get rid of fat, and then there are tons of conflicting views that you get. So I'm going to talk about what I found from whatever studies I did, and whatever worked for me. Now, first of all, disclaimer: I'm not a doctor, obviously. You all know that, and this presentation is for only information purposes, and you must consult your doctor before taking any action based on whatever I'm going to say, or what worked for me may not work for you. This is we talk about all the career sponsorship and all those things. That is where I am authority. I can definitely say that this works. When I say appreciation and acknowledgement definitely works on people, that's where I have seen, I can say that with confidence. But these things are not my expertise, but it has worked for me. And why I'm giving this presentation, because it has worked for me and it has tremendous benefit, just apart from getting rid of fat, especially for career point of view. And it has helped me, and it is helping me big way in my business. That's the reason I'm doing this presentation as part of the training for our group. So keeping that disclaimer aside. So first of all, let's see why clean up fat for career growth, why it is important. Now, just think about it. If you go back like 20, 30 years ago, the bosses of CEOs of big companies, like even if you watch historical movies or Netflix or some of the documentaries, you will see all this Rockefeller or some other people, right? Some top people. They used to be like, many of them used to be like cigar smoking and drinking heavily, and then fat people, and never cared about the health, right? That's how the whole concept was. Wealthier you are, you will be more fatter. But that's not anymore. If you see today's successful people, especially the CEOs, all are not only fit, they are super fit. People used to play golf, now they do kite surfing. And if you just look at the kite surfing, just by looking at it, I can see, oh my God, each and every muscle in your body is getting used for kite surfing. People do all sort of stuff, and age is not defining it. That is not the limiting factor anymore. So that's the very important thing. And you can observe in your own career, in your office also. If you see your top people, CEOs or VPs and all those, pretty much most of them are super fit, at least fit. They look good. They don't look fat. They have tons of energy. They don't have tons of stamina. So one big thing, no fat. Just think about it. If you have this unnecessary fat on your body, it just you're carrying extra weight. First of all, it doesn't look good, right? If you are fat, first of all, first impression typically nowadays people get, hey, if you can take care of your body, if you cannot control the food that you eat, if you don't have discipline to work out to take care of your own health, how can you take care of business? So that's the first impression nowadays people get, and there's a judgment also behind it. So that's the looks part. So you need to look attractive, and it's common, right? So attractive people tend to get more attention. Attractive people, and attractiveness is not necessarily by mean of beauty as such. It's more of a how you physically look. Not not necessarily thin also, but the without fat. What I'll say. So looks matter. How attractive you are. And second is energy. If you have this extra fat on our body, just think about it. It's just like extra weight. Now you are trying to run everywhere. We are trying to go up down couple of stairs in your office, or if you are running and you are late for the meeting and you have to run, right? You go to the meeting and you have that huffing and puffing stuff, then that energy shows up. Oh my God, what is happening to you? And third thing is about stamina. Stamina is basically keep going for long duration. There are lots of time in your office. You have to work like 17, 18 hours. If you completely drain out after 8 hours, which is definition of your work, and then you lose the energy and other people keep going, then you are in big trouble. So you may have this mental energy. You may want to work, but if your body is not, then it's a problem. Say, for example, you are in a meeting and then you are sluggish and you don't have energy and you doze off in the meeting, what will happen? So you need that energy and stamina that keeps going for a long time. So that is very critical. And what fat does is it doesn't look good. It drains down your energy, it drains down your stamina. So it is super important for you to clean up this extra unnecessary fat we have in our body. Okay, so let's talk about the mindset. So how do you work on this? How do you motivate yourself? How do you inspire yourself to take this journey of getting rid of fat and keep working on that journey? It's not it's fairly easy to accumulate this fat again. So first of all, it's hard to get rid of it, and it's fairly easy to bring it back. So what do we do to what mindset we can have to do this thing? So first thing is about visible fat. There are two types of fat. Visible fat is something that you can see, and visceral fat is something inside our body around the organs. So around the organs, if there is a fat around the organs, like that, there is a liver and there is intestine and there is a heart and all those things, right? So around those organs, there is a visceral fat. So if some people might be externally look thin, they may not have that visible fat, but internally they may have fat. So that's a visceral fat. But let's talk about visible fat. So first of all, we have to ask ourselves a question: what is the immediate pain that I'm getting because of the visible fat, the fat I see? The first thing obvious is about double chin, right? As that shows up very quickly. And the good part of it, if you start working on getting rid of fat, then first thing, typically you lose fat from your face, so which is a good news. So double chin is again, it's a because it shows up on your Zoom call. Maybe your tummy doesn't show up on a Zoom call or when you take a picture, but your chin always shows up. So that's immediate pain. Oh my God, look at my tummy and chin, how it looks. So look at yourself in a mirror and see how it looks. You didn't have it when you were young, so now it has grown up. So that's the immediate pain that you can experience. What is the other immediate pain that you might be experiencing is age. Just look at your picture who were like 20 years ago versus now, or you just look at pictures of famous actors, when they were young, when they started their career, and versus now. What is the difference between the aging? Now, and I'm taking those examples because they are super careful about their aging effect, right? But still, they look older. Why do they look older? One of the biggest thing is the face, that double chin shows up, and then age factor shows up. So if you have that fat on your body, then obviously you look older. So that's another thing. Oh, I started looking so old now. 30s about belly fat. Belly fat, no matter how, you might have seen a lot of people, they go to gym and they work out and they have like strong biceps and chest is big, but still they have belly fat. So then you negate the factor, like, what's the point? So that's another thing that you might be experiencing a similar thing. That look at your belly fat and then see, oh my God, I used to be able to wear good clothes, and now I can't because they look weird on me. And then when the belt, it doesn't fit anymore, or pants don't fit anymore, or the shirt, the t-shirt that I used to wear before, now they don't fit me anymore. So that is the immediate pain, that visible pain that you can see, that you can notice for yourself. That will get you going, get you started. Oh, I need to do something. This is not acceptable. So as I always say, pain gets you started. So find that immediate pain. And the pain of future doesn't entice us too much. Pain of, oh, I will get some disease down the line, I want to live longer. None of that is so motivating, because that pain is in future, right? So you have to find some pain what is right now. So that is immediate pain. That is for the visible fat. And what about visceral fat? Visceral fat is the fat around our all these organs. It's inside our heart, around everywhere, right? So what happens because of that? It creates that fatty liver, and fatty liver creates lots of problem. You can read about it, with fatty liver challenges. So it's really, really bad. And it is, you have to take lots of medication. Maybe you have to replace the liver, and you will feel it. You will have a big pain in your body. Hopefully you don't have it, but if you start having that fatty liver, you will end up having lots of pain. Bad gut, you might be experiencing, you couldn't, anytime you eat a little spicier or different food, then you are not able to digest, then acidity reflexes are coming and heartburn is coming, the stomach upset. Then we might be experiencing low energy, by end of the day, by 6 o'clock, you're drained, you're not able to do anything. You might be experiencing low stamina, when you go for a walk, after some time your legs start paining, or you used to able to run, you can't run anymore. And there are other various time you might be experiencing stamina going down. So see that immediate pain because of this visceral fat, and then see that intense pain from all over the places coming to you, and then you will get super inspired and super motivated. In fact, get scared. That's a good thing to think about it. Get scared about what this fat around your body is doing to you, and in this moment, forget about future, what is doing to you at this time. So once you have that pain, then you will see, oh my God, I got to do something, and you will start doing something about it. The next thing is about, then let's talk a lot. Let's look at the immediate pleasure. What is the immediate pleasure you're gonna get? You will do all this any of the techniques that work for me. If you follow the path, then you will get started, but you need to keep going for that. So if you want to keep going for something, then you have to find all the pleasures that you will get. So what pleasures I'll get if I get rid of this visible fat? First of all, you will look younger for sure. If you once start you losing weight around your face, around your body, you will look younger. The skin becomes bigger. You have seen that, right? If you have big fat, you might have seen fat people who have overweight people, they tend to have skin which is celluloids. Then skin start looking like botched and all those things. So if you lose the weight, the skin become, you don't have that fat. Toned muscle show up. I always get, oh, I have lots of muscle. They are just covered by the fat. So if you get rid of the fat, automatically those toned muscle will start showing up, and you will start wearing that great fitting clothes. You will be able to fit into older clothes, or you will be able to buy new ones, try it on different things. Every time you try those new shirts, you'll feel so awesome about yourself, and then you'll be able to buy, and then go wherever you want to go with the confidence in parties or social gathering, and of course to the office. So that's the immediate pleasure you're going to get. Now, mindset, and what about the visceral fat? By getting rid of visceral fat around your all these organs, no internal pain, whatever internal pain that you have, that right now you're experiencing, will start to go away. And if you follow this lifestyle changes that I'm talking about, and at least it has worked for me, and you might have heard, or you might have experienced for yourself also, that internal organ starts functioning much better, and the internal body pain starts to go away, and you start feeling clean inside. There is no kind of think of it like when you go to India or any vacation, if you stuff the bag like to the fullest, how does it feel versus your nicely organized bag without fluff in it? So you start feeling clean inside. That's the immediate pleasure you can experience very soon. So think about, these are the things that I came up with to get me myself started and get myself keep going. So my invitation for you after this presentation, we'll do quick exercise to think about, or actually, we will be going in a breakout room. So stay in a breakout room, meet someone in this group, and talk about it. What is the immediate pain? What is the immediate pleasure that you feel because of your health journey? So, how do you do this? Using fasting. So that's today's topic, the science behind it. If you do fasting, this is what I've seen. Fasting is an amazing way to get rid of the fat. And what are my results? This is how I look in 2016. This is how I look in 2024. So, which is awesome. After 8 years, I was supposed to look worse than what I used to look, right? But I'm so proud of that. After 8 years, I actually look younger. So I could have looked much better in 2016 if I would have followed all those things. But now that's okay. Now I know the tech and techniques. So that's the exciting part. And that's why I am sharing this whole thing, that I didn't think that this transformation, body transformation, people talk about, it's possible for me, because I'm not so fanatic about food, not fanatic about exercise and all those things. Never been. Now I am, but I was never been. So I never thought that, oh, it's an age, I'm gonna look worse and worse and worse. And I have very much genes of my dad, so I knew how he looked in 55. So I had 52. I'm right now. So I had accepted my fate, but because of all these health journey, the transformation has happened, and then I'm super excited about it. So this is the result that I got. So what are the tangible results I got? Are this. First of all, I lost about 20 pounds of fat loss, I'll say. I lost on a scale weight of 10 pounds, but I believe it's a 10 pound of fat loss, because along with that, I gain a lot of muscles. I can lift a lot bigger weights. I can run, I can walk. So definitely there is a big chunk of muscle gain has happened. So definitely I'm 20 pounds of fat loss. And I can see that when I was in 2016, I used to weigh 164. And then I went all the way to 84, 184, now at 170, 174. So 10 pounds weight has gone down since then, but I look a lot more thinner. You saw that, right? So that's another thing. You might be weighing less, but may look fat. But if you get rid of fat, you might weigh a little more, and maybe if you work on your muscles, but you will look younger. Second thing is, my double chin is reduced, is still there. I'm hoping it will reduce further, and I definitely feel I'm looking younger. And big thing is flat stomach. I can wear slim fitted shirt and look great. And proud to say that my son is 18 and he's like the muscle man, and he works out and everything. So I can wear his shirts too, slim, slim shirts, fitting shirt. And that's what I feel proud. I said, oh my God, this works. So that's the reason I'm talking today. So what are the physical, visible results I got? Invisible. That was a visible one. This is invisible results. I forgot to change the title here. So what are the invisible results I got? First of all, tons of free time. Fasting gives you tons of free time, because just imagine what happens. My day start before I used to take the breakfast. So it will take half an hour to prepare the breakfast, eat the breakfast. Then for lunch, it's another prepare and think about the lunch. 1 hour, I cut that whole thing. I'll talk about that. So I get tons of free time. I start my work at like 7:30 something, and then keep going and going and going until 5, 6, and then I have uninterrupted time. So much free time for me. Second is counterintuitive. I was thinking, oh, if you don't eat, then you won't have energy. Now, what I'm finding is throughout the day, I'm getting amazing energy and amazing enthusiasm. I'm kind of restless nowadays since I started this fasting journey of I'll be like, what should I do? Let me do this. Let me do this. Let me do this yard work. Let me do this office work. Let me do something about marketing. Let me call someone. Let's do more coaching call. Let's check on this person. Let's check on that person. So I have so much. Let's create new training. So I have so much enthusiasm and so much energy. Another big thing, I'm like thrilled to see that whenever I go for workout at 12 o'clock instead of in the morning. So if I go to 12 o'clock, it means that I haven't eaten from last day at 8 o'clock until 12 o'clock. And if I'm fasting a lot more, so logically I was thinking, if you're on empty stomach, you may end up having less stamina for exercise. But my experience is I get a big boost of stamina of exercise and said, oh, wow, just by not eating food, I can lift more weights. Just by not eating food, I can run faster. Oh, wow, that's pretty cool. I got to tell everybody about it. So that is my experience, invisible results I got. All right. So where did I learn all these things from? Okay, so there are three people on internet I found. So and those three people have totally like hijacked my mind. I'll say for the good reason. So one of this person is Andrew Huberman. I'll show you his. Yeah, yeah, I'll post this link to his thing. This guy is pretty awesome. He is a professor in Stanford, and what he does is he does a really real, and that's why I call the name of this presentation is science based. He does like almost 2 hour long videos, so like about for the example, this one is 2 hour long, but in this thing he goes into detail of the all the scientific studies that are done about fasting, and he explain in very engaging language, so it's really cool. So then the thing is this, you and me and we are all like business people and technology people. We need science. We don't go by woo-woo thing. Oh, I feel gut feeling and all those things. We need science. When we see the science, we buy that thing. Our mind kind of our mind says, okay, this is right. So this is how I got sold on when I saw the science behind the fasting. So this is one person, Andrew Huberman, and the second person is Dr. Pradeep Jamnadas, and he speaks. He's like funny at the time, so it's very engaging, very interesting thing. And here is the interesting thing: this guy is not some weight loss guru or anything. This guy is a cardiologist. A cardiologist, heart doctor. So, and that's a big thing, right? What he says that he recommends is fasting to his patients who are heart patients. So it's not only just getting rid of fat, but it changes your whole dynamics of your body, especially the heart. I said, oh my God, it's helps the body. It's not just the looks. It's not. It's helping my heart also. Oh my God, then I got to do something about it. So this is the second person. And the third person I would invite you to go and check out is Dr. Mindy Pelz. And this particular, she has her own channel. This video is not from her channel, but you can subscribe to her channel and see what resonates with her. But in this particular channel, she talks about she focuses on, she has a book called uh, Fast Like Girls, girls who fast or something. Is basically her focus is on women, because women have all those different sets of hormones that we men don't have, and especially after 40, 45, 42, that menopause and all those things, it becomes super complicated. So she explains those things, and in this particular video, you should watch it. There are it's hosted by somebody else, and he asks some questions, and then discussion goes in a little different direction also about women and hormones and what happens, and what should their husbands or partners should look for, and why the mood swings happen, and how to deal with it from the partner point of view also, and how women should deal with them too. So it's very fascinating thing, and she talks about the in detail about fasting also. So, and all these three people explain the science in so detail about this fasting. So if you, as I said, I'm not an authority on it, so it's better you just go and watch them. So I'm just motivating and inspiring you to explore and see what works for you. So those are the three people I got this all information from. So I'll just summarize, what I learned from this, how fasting burns fat. If you watch this video, you will know in detail. So simplistic way, there are two sources of energy that our body gets. When we eat food, we get glucose, and our body starts burning that glucose. That's the energy source. Our brain gets the glucose. When you're moving the hands and legs and everything, that glucose gets burned. Now, when you're fasting, if you say eat at like 6 o'clock in the evening, then you will have this glucose flowing through your body, and body will be using glucose. If you work out at 8 in the evening, I don't know why would you, but if you do, then you will be your body will be burning glucose that you just created, right? But after 4 hours or 6 hours, then body starts that glucose is burned. Or even if you go in the morning after 8 o'clock or something, that glucose is already burned up. Now body needs to need other fuel, so it'll switch to burning fat. So that's the basic concept here. And the other thing is like think of it like I'll give you example of what do you call it? Checking account and your savings account. We all have it. We all have that, right? So when you write a check or when you do Zelle, where does the amount goes from? It goes from your checking account. That is the glucose. Now time to time you would be moving some of the extra money to savings account, right? So if then that, because that gives you the interest. Same thing body does. If there is a extra glucose, that it converts into fats and keeps it in a saving account, in rainy days you can use it. So but if you don't fast, if you don't fast, then you keep every month your salary keeps coming in a checking account, correct? So as if you have the salary keeps coming, then you never have to go to that checking account. And checking account, you will keep moving some of the money to checking account, remaining money, and your checking account will keep going. Same thing is happens with our body. If you have this extra glucose leftover coming in, it gets stored as a fat. Now, if that checking account money keeps coming every month, then obviously bank is not going to complain. It will go on forever, right? Same thing here. You'll keep burning glucose and nothing will happen until you not give that checking account money. As soon as you stop putting money in the checking account, what is going to happen? Your checks will get bounced, your Zelle won't work, your credit card company will call, hey, you didn't pay. And then you have to take out money from saving and move it to checking. And then that's how only your checking account will go down. So that extra fat that you have. So that's what happens. If you go in a extended period fasting mode, your body will start taking money from savings account, which is the fat instead of glucose. Second is if you do longer fast, think about it like this. You are trying to, it's like this. You have, most of us have a fireplace in our house, right? And what happens? Fireplace is designed to warm the house. Just think about like 100 years ago, and there were no heater in the house, right? So everybody used to burn the logs. Now that logs is like your food, and then if you don't give food, if you run out of this food, what will you do? You want to keep yourself warm, so you're gonna look for all the pizza boxes or some junk in the house or broken table, and you will start picking up all those things and start burning it. Body does the same thing. If you do longer period of fast, body will start finding, it will say that, oh, I don't have those wood to burn. What do? I need to keep this body warm, so I'm gonna find all the unnecessary fat that I saved, and I'm gonna burn it. And that's the visceral fat. It will start going around wherever it is. And then if you go even a little longer, then it goes into something called autophagy mode. Autophagy, meaning of the autophagy word is to eat yourself, self-eating, and in a good way. Body will start eating the bad things, malfunctioning cells, old cells, and replacing them with new ones. So think about like this. You will start. Oh, there is a junk table, or there are like old newspapers, or all those things which are just occupying space unnecessarily. You will start burning them. So that's what the body will start doing it, and then it will replace with the new one. So which is pretty cool. So that's another exciting thing I have. I started a journey on. It's not only just gonna make me uh, better looking. It's not only making me better performing, but my body is kind of reverse aging. So if I have a mechanism to reverse age myself, forget about all the technology and all the people who are inventing all the new drugs to reverse age. If my body has that reverse aging mechanism inbuilt, why not use it? And then to think about it, this fasting is their age old. every religion has fasting inbuilt, and they use this as mindset trick only, right? To make people fast. They take advantage of our mindset that it's for the god, and if you break the fast, you will commit the sin and you will be punished, and if you keep the fast, then you will get the pleasure and you will get the good things. Simple, right? Pain and pleasure thing. Same thing here. Every religion, we in Hinduism, we have all sort of fast. Then Muslims, Islam, they have Ramadan, of course. Obviously, I don't know so much about Christianity, but there must be. So, and of course in Buddhism and Jainism, they all have long fast. Some religion have like 20 days fast and all 40 days fast. That's crazy. So the point of that another thing got me fascinated. This has been there for ages, and if something lasts over the ages, it's not fad. It's been there for a long time, so there has to be some wisdom, and it has been all over the place, all over the world in all the religions. So it's fascinating too. So there has to be some meaning to it, and if you think of it, the vivid example, if you need that got me wild, is Modi, right? Modi, he came to US last time when he came to US. I think who was that? Where was that? He had a state dinner, and at that time he was in a fasting. He was 9 day fast. In 9 day, he doesn't eat anything, just lime and water. Now, just I was thinking like, okay, this guy has to take huge decision. He has to be super energetic, has to be talking, remembering all this thing. His brain has to be alert during that time, right? So I was really wondering, like, is it really possible? Maybe he was cheating, but now I kind of understand how it works. Brain actually becomes a lot more alert and a lot more energetic when you're in a fast state mode, and that's how he can function. So he was there, and I still remember, everybody had a nice dinner around him, and he had a glass of water in front of him, which is pretty cool. So that's something to get inspired about. So let me still have, okay, spiritual listen. All right, okay, we'll get to comment. Good comment. Okay, so that's about autophagy. Now, I'm just giving the credit to whoever I learned from. So another thing I learned from, there is an app called Body Fast app you can download, and it helps you to start this journey and continuous journey. It will give you reminders, and it will give some good information and all those things. So I like that app too, because we forget. So this is the screenshot from that app. So I'll just explain how the different phases of fast work. So say, for example, you start fasting at, say, 6 o'clock in the evening. It starts at 0, 0, 0, right? So after four hours, the insulin level will start dropping. So around 10 o'clock, insulin level will drop. So by the time you go to bed, your insulin level will be like, normal, what it should be, in a stable one. So that's how you can get your sleep better. That's how you can fall to sleep better. And then, things can slow down in a better way, and you can have a deeper sleep. And after 8 hours, blood sugar normalizes. So in the middle of the night, you would have sugar also stabilize, so that early morning sleep, that will be deeper, and then you will feel fresh. You won't have that middle of the night awakening stuff and disturbing sleep. So when you wake up in the morning, you will end up having very refreshed mindset. That's what I've seen happening. If I eat late in the night, 10 o'clock, versus if I eat at 6 o'clock, I definitely see the big difference in how my sleep pattern changes. And after 10 hours, it start fat burning. So if you eat at, say, 6, maybe around 6 o'clock, it's 12 hours, I think, just before that. I mean, so around like 4 o'clock, your fat burning will start happening. Now, if you eat breakfast at 7 o'clock, then what happens? You got only 3 hours. The body is burning fat only for 3 hours, and then body is switching to that checking account, savings account, I said, right? And if you eat breakfast, then boom, body gets the new money in your checking account, and body switches to glucose. So that fat burning process stops. But if you don't then that fat burning process will continue after 10 hours. So that's what I tell myself in the morning, when I get an urge of eating breakfast. I love breakfast. And then, oh my God, body is burning fat. Why are you disturbing it? It's doing its job. You don't want it to switch it to glucose again. So after 10 hours, fat will start burning. And then after 12 hours, it's fascinating stuff. It goes into ketosis. Um, I don't know to so much detail about ketosis, but overall thing that I got about ketosis is there are another source of energy is a ketones get generated, and that what you can read about it in this videos that will tell better. But if you're in a fasting mode, body starts creating ketones because it doesn't have a source of glucose. And see, brain needs the energy, right? Brain need a source of energy. So one is glucose. So now glucose is not there. So body has to prepare alternative source of energy. And that's why body goes into ketosis mode and it starts creating ketones. And this is where that alertness, because these ketones, energy coming from ketones is much more pure energy, I'll call it. So think of it like, another example here we can give is hybrid car. So far it was burning the fuel. Now for a brain, so far it was burning glucose to feed brain, which is like gasoline, which is creating all sort of pollution. But now it is switching to electric energy, which is a cleaner energy, which is the ketones energy, and that gives your brain that makes your brain a lot more alert, a lot more enthusiastic and energetic. And that is my personal observation happening about it. So I'm so fascinated about it. And that's where that keto diet comes in picture, right? Put your body, eat food in such a way that body goes in that ketosis. So there is an alternative way of getting into ketosis mode. I'll talk a little bit about that. But if you fasted, that's the easiest way. You don't need to buy those like keto bombs and keto food and all those things. Just don't eat anything. Your body will go to ketosis. I said, oh, this is pretty cool. And then after about 14 hours, body goes into something called autophagy. Autophagy is, I mentioned earlier, is eating yourself. So body will start eating the bad cell of yourself. So think of it like, I hope it eats away the tiny molecules which might be causing me cancer in the future, or it might cause me some weird disease or tumors and all this. So body will start cleaning itself and start recycling, and that's why the symbol is, body will start recycling the things, take the bad thing, burn them, create a new one. And that's how body is capable of, right? At any age, body is so much capable of rejuvenating yourself, creating new cells all the time. They say, I mean, everything. They say the whole our body gets replaced maybe after a few months. Every molecule, every atom in our body is replaced because body is constantly replacing. So if you do this fasting, body goes in autophagy, and you will experience that reverse aging factor. So that's the fascinating thing. So why stop this process, fat burning process? And that's got me psyched about it. So this is the science behind it. So how I do it, I'll just explain how I did it and where I am and what I plan to do. Now here again is a disclaimer that it may work with you, may not work with you. It's up to you. You just have to experiment with your own body and also with your own mind. You might have some other health issues. You might have some other, hopefully not any disease, but whatever, right? If you have a strong diabetes or kidney problem, this and that. Because I told this to many of my relatives and friends, of course, they said, no, I have this problem, I that problem. I said, obviously, what worked for me may not work for you. So that's what I'm saying. Fasting, how I did it. So I started gradually. I said, okay, I eat my breakfast at 8 o'clock. Let me try eating at 8:30. Let me try eating at 9, then 10, then 11. And then said, okay, I can live up to 11. I can just directly go to lunch. And that's how I started skipping breakfast. So that was great. Like, it was a 16-hour fast. You might have heard about it. It's a intermittent fasting. I said, oh, cool. Then I started feeling so energetic, and I started going to Orange Theory at 12 o'clock in the noon. and 12 to 1, and then I'll come after 1 o'clock and eat after 1 o'clock. And I said, okay, let me try if I can extend it a little further. Then instead of one, after coming to gym, I'll take a bath and spend a little time here and there, and then switch and push the lunch to 2. And then I said, okay, let's try something else. And then I started doing at 2 o'clock. I said I may move my marketing time from morning to 2 o'clock, and let's see. And that was pretty good because I was so energetic and all sort of stuff. So I switched slowly, gradually, and eventually I can go until 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock now. And then for example, last week for 4 days, I didn't eat whole day, and I ate at 6 o'clock. So that's how I gradually started. But it did about how long it took, like maybe 4 or 5 months for me. Now, and then what other thing I did, I constantly monitor myself, not the doctor or anything. Your body tells you everything, right? So if I feel like weird, or if I feel dizzy and all the thing, how am I feeling? Am I able to run? Am I able to lift the weights? Am I able to talk properly? Am I remembering things when I do the coaching? Am I mixing it up anything? So, okay, my brain cognizant function is working well. My muscles are working well. I'm happy, my mood swing, I'm not depressed and I'm not feeling agitated. My emotions are good. So I was monitoring constantly and then calibrating. If I feel, oh, things are not going well, okay, then eat. That's fine. So mix it up. Then mix it, and by mix it up, this is what it's fascinating thing about this intermittent fasting, that you don't need a discipline here. As contrary to some of the people say, oh no, if you do this fasting thing, you should be very consistent, never break the fast, and all those things. And now I go by, there are always different school of thought. The one school of thought is that body adapts, right? If you eat at the same time and keep doing the same time, and then body adapts, that effect goes down. And that's where the yo-yo diet comes in picture. If you eat less, and initially you will lose weight, but then if you start, then body adapts and it says, oh my god, you used to make like 500,000 before, now you're making only 200,000, let me reduce my expenses. Same thing body does. Oh, you used to give me like 5,000 calories, now you're getting 2,000 calories, let me reduce the metabolism. So even if you keep eating 2,000 calories, you will not lose weight, or you will even gain the weight. So body adapts. So for that, you should always mix it up. And in case of just the diet, mixing up is very difficult because if you increase your weight, metabolism doesn't go up along with it. But here it's a different story. Fasting is not about manipulating the amount of calorie. It's all about giving your body time to burn the fat, and at the same time not letting it get accustomed to. We have to trick the body to in some extent, and that has a big benefit. So mixing it up, meaning sometime you do 18 hours, sometime you do 24 hours, sometime you don't do the fast. And that works out so well from psychology point of view. If you are not forced, if you have control, if you're free to do what you want whenever you want, then your mind is like willing to sacrifice in other places. And that I came up with the name fast and feast. And here is the interesting concept, our that Jamnadas explains it so well. Think about it, our body, humans are exists what, how many, at least a million a year, or like half a million a year in so our body is designed for pre agriculture era, and agriculture came in last maybe 2000 year. That 2000 year is just like a millisecond over the whole span of a human existence. So body cannot change in this, evolution cannot happen in like millisecond, which has taken like thousands of years to evolve. So, and what used to happen even just like 50, 100 years ago, there used to be all the time, famine. Even in my childhood, there were rationing of the food. There were times when we didn't have the rice. Unless you go to the next time to the ration, you won't get the rice, you won't get the sugar. Right? So you might have experienced it yourself, or like you might have heard. That's how it was. Just in our generation, in our lifestyle, that was the case when you used to literally used to fast. Oh, sugar is over. You had to wait until until the next cycle of rationing comes up. So that's how human beings have been living. And then whenever, and going back to pre agriculture, we used to hunt. And when you hunt, you get the food, or when there's a harvest, you get the food. Then you feast. Then you eat. You are not gonna say they were not free. There were no freezers. There were no preservatives, so you cannot store the food. So when you get the food, you eat it, and then again, you don't know when you will get the next hunt, and you will famine again, right? So that is our body's design to designed to work with. So I said, okay, this is fascinating idea. Then I can fast when I feel like, and I can feast when I feel like. And that's what I do, on weekend, or when I go to party, or when I go to restaurant, or when I go to fancy places or vacation. That's my feast. That's okay. And the rest of the time, I'm gonna fast and gonna I will be I and that's what is working pretty well for me. So that's the fun part of it. This is how I do it. Now, what is the biggest challenge in this whole regimen or all this lifestyle is hunger. See, any other lifestyle, good food style, eating style, and everything, there are so many hurdles in the sense that, oh, you have to find a good, healthy food, you have to eat fresh, and then you have to go to grocery all the time, pick the right things, and then, and keep them, cook well, and watch everything. Those are all the challenges. And if for exercise, you have to go to a gym, you have to pick the exercise and all this thing. And I'm not saying shouldn't do that. But this particular regime is super simple. Well, there's only one challenge, that is hunger. So if you can deal with hunger, this whole thing works. So what I do from mindset point of view, hunger is physical and also emotional. Right? Hunger is like the sensation in the body that, oh, you're hungry, and sensation in the body is many times emotions too. So let's work on mindset. So I said, okay, let's work on mindset. How can we do this thing? So first of all, I started noticing what happens. As I always say, what you acknowledge grows. So if you acknowledge the benefits of this fasting, it's going to grow. So I started noticing specifically what is changing. So I started noticing, oh my God, I feel very energetic. I'm feeling that enthusiasm. And it's very correlating. The days when I don't fast, I take breakfast and lunch, and then I don't feel that much energetic as I feel when I fast. I said, oh my God, whoa. I get an immediate jolt of happiness that this is working. I'm getting energy and enthusiasm. Second thing, big thing for me is a sense of accomplishment. Because anytime I tell people now, oh, I don't eat whole day, and when I go to Friday, especially, I go to party or somewhere, and I said, oh, I didn't eat anything, I can start eating now. You didn't eat anything since whole day? When did you eat last? I said, oh, yesterday, 8 o'clock. How can you stay? The hunger doesn't bother you? And then it's kind of accomplishment, right? So I get that sense of accomplishment. I get to tell others, so which is fun. Then I started noticing changes in the body. There are lots of changes. First of all, I started noticing that the fat is going away from my stomach. Another thing is that even as I said, muscles get covered by the fat. If the fat start getting burned, you will start noticing that muscle definition of the muscle start showing up. So take off the shirt and look in the mirror. Wow, it looks pretty cool. Then I started noticing tons of free time and less work. Free time, like as I said, start my day 7 o'clock. I literally don't have anything to do. When Rohini goes to office, Amir goes to school. Then once they're gone, it's me. I got tons of free time to do whatever I want. Meditation, exercise, marketing video, coaching people, creating new training, learning some new things, clean the house, or go for a walk, anything. There's so much free time for me because I don't have to think, I don't have to prepare, I don't have to eat. So which is pretty cool. Then noticing getting rid of waste of money. If you don't have to eat so much, we don't. I mean, for me, I used to buy so much food, which I don't anymore. So that money that was kind of a waste. It was just putting on extra fat on my body. So I'm saying, waste of money is going away. And that I used to buy it, and then I used to feel guilty, and then I'll throw half of the food. So that waste of money is gone. So I'm noticing all those things. That helps me to overcome emotionally whenever I feel anger. Another thing to do is surround yourself with the similar minded people. So I join a WhatsApp group, which is this body, app I showed you, they have their own Facebook group. So when you see other people succeeding, when you see other people talking the similar thing, when you see other people doing and getting results, then you said, okay, other people are facing hunger too, and they're getting over it. I can do that too. So, and then hunger goes away. And hunger does go away. And you would have experiences all the time too, right? So especially if you're going into vacation, for example, sometimes you don't eat until 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, right? Or sometimes there's a big project going on in an office. There are times when you haven't eaten anything from 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock, and then you could survive. It's not like nobody dies by doing fasting for a day or two. Even people do. Human body is capable of fasting until 40 days and so. Of course, I don't know. I have not experienced beyond 24 hours, but people do all the time. So we have seen the experience. So the point being is this hunger goes away if you if you bring these other emotions to mind. And how do you implement what can be done? Easy way to overcome, supplement this mindset, it's just to drink water. So I have this bottle of water always filling, just gulp like lots of water, and 90% of the time that hunger goes away. And if you just occupy your mind and body with other things, I go for a walk or sit out, do meditation, or start doing some interesting work, which is like for me, marketing, creating, coaching, and all sorts of creating new training, fun stuff, reading books. And here is the one thing. Definitely in the beginning phases, your brain will feel sluggish. There are lots of different things can happen in first couple of weeks or a month. You might experience, some people might experience diarrhea, which I experienced. Some people might experience constipation, and some people might feel sluggish brain fog, or you might feel a little dizzy, but body gets adjusted to it over the time. And if you do extended fast, if I go typically around after 20-22 hours, I start feeling a little bit of sluggishness to the brain. And that's where I started drinking electrolytes. It could be just as simple as taking a pinch of salt in the water and drinking it, but you get this electrolyte mixes nowadays. So I zero calorie, no sugar kind of stuff. So that kind of you know uh, brings up the brain back to normal. So that I have been experiencing as I extend the fat. Initially, I used to get it at shorter amount of time, but as you increase your duration of fasting, you might start feeling it. So those are all these things are fortunately are available to know information wise, so you can do your own research on it and see what works. So that's how I did it. Now, other thing to do is if you can't do fast, you can always do some part of it. It is a fast mimicking food. Instead of if you say, oh no, that doesn't work with my body and it can't do it, but at least you can get some benefit of all these things if you do fast mimicking food. So it's a simple formula. There's a lot of fluff and a lot of people talk a lot of things. For me, I can give you a simple formula if you want. My formula is eat foods that don't increase sugar levels and insulin, and eat something that other foods, right? Which don't increase. So what foods increase sugar? It's obviously sugar. It increases super fast. It includes all the candies, and then your donuts, especially Krispy Kreme donuts and all containing sugars. Soda, can of Coke has like I think 70% of the sugar for the day. So if you drink like 1.2 can of soda, your sugar content for the day is over. So if you do 4 in a day, see what's happening to your body. So sugar is the one that immediately increases your sugar level. Second is faster increase. Simple carbs like white bread, white pasta, or rice, white rice. Those are the simple carbs that increase sugar level faster. Then other things also increase your sugar level, which are complex for cause, but they are slowly increasing. We have to eat something, right? We are humans, we have to eat. So we can, if you had to choose, you choose these complex carbs, beans, vegetables, fruits, whole grains. And there are certain foods which increase the they are super slow in increasing sugar, which are good fats, so avocado, nuts, and proteins, and all sort of stuff. So my invitation for you is to do research about all the foods, what they do to your body, and based on your diet, your culinary habit, your culture, what food you like, you know, make a choice. Have the food that that helps your body to clean up this fat, get into that healthy mode, and at the same time you enjoy. Because here is the interesting thing, right? In this whole thing, what I have to give up is bread and pastas and rice and stuff. And instead I get to eat nuts and I get to eat a lot of protein, chicken and all sort of thing. I get to eat a lot of fat, cheese, all sort of stuff, which I love. So I get to eat something actually which is more tastier in some way. So I'm enjoying that fact too. So you can always do fast mimicking food. So and if you combine this thing together, which is like you do the fast and then in the evening when you're having this one meal if you're having, then have meal that won't increase your sugar level, that will accelerate your journey further. So that's what I'm doing. And the another piece what I would like to share is supplements I take. For one big thing is before I didn't pay so much attention to microbiome for your gut health is super important. Gut health determines everything, right? You eat the food, it's like the engine. You think about it, right? In your car, you're putting the fuel and the engine is converting into energy. So that is the gut. If the engine is not working fine, then wiper and the wheels and tire is useless. Why? So that gut health is super important. So what to do for the gut health is simple. You need to have the good microbiomes, bacteria, and yogurt or buttermilk is the best way to go about it. And if you see, especially in Indian culture, we always have yogurt in our food. And I said, oh, that's why it was. How, duh. Or a simpler way, yogurt is, if not possible, it's hard to remember and take it in your lunch, especially if you're taking lunch in office. So you can always carry buttermilk in your can or something and just gulp it out. Second is vitamin D. They always say that every doctor says you have vitamin D deficiency. So I started taking vitamin D, B12, some of the vitamins. And another big missing piece is this thing, fiber. They say like you eat leafy vegetables and fiber rich food. Now there is so much thinking which has the fiber and you have to remember and all those things. Instead of that, just have the fiber supplement that makes it track. Another thing we recently started is turmeric for immunity. So Rohini has made some kind of concoction, turmeric and few more things, and then we just take a half a spoon of it and then in the water and drink it. And the recently I found another big love of clove. I just keep it on my desk and in a day one or two. And where does this clove come from? I notice in Indian culture that we eat pan right at the end of the meal, and every pan, if you notice, there will be one clove. So clove is such a amazing help to digestion, and then many more. Then I just researched, not research, I watched videos on YouTube. I won't call it a research, and then I found, oh, clove is like pretty cool, and it refreshes the mouth and feels fresh, and it's just easy to pop it in any time. And so I love it. So those are the supplements I take. So that's my presentation. And again, I will reiterate, I'm not a doctor. This presentation is only for information purpose. You should consult your doctor before taking any action based on whatever I said right now. So that's all I have to say about it. So let me